so cluck cluck everybody. It's been such a yucky week here. I haven't been able to do many videos outside. The sun will come out and tease us for like 5 minutes and then go back in. Even the animals don't want to be out right now. And so I thought I'd do an inside video. I thought we'd discuss how I became a chicken lady. But first, I want to show y'all something my husband got me. It's a deviled egg plate. Now this looks plastic, right? Ain't plastic, that's ceramic, baby. I got me a ceramic deviled egg plate, chicken deviled egg plate. I love it. I'm gonna make deviled eggs today, actually. I'm also gonna make a roast. But I'll put a picture on community with the deviled eggs. But for those of you who don't know, like farm fresh eggs are really, really hard to peel. Like notoriously, they stick to the shell so bad. But I've read a new method that where you basically steam the eggs rather than boil them. I'm gonna try that today. And hopefully that works, because like, you know, when you have potlucks and stuff, when you're a chicken lady, everybody thinks you're gonna bring the deviled eggs, and I will, but they're gonna suck because the white's gonna be all shredded up, because good luck getting the white out. I've tried everything. I've tried the vinegar, I've tried the baking soda. I always do the water bath afterwards anyway. Extra salt. I've done it all. Okay, farm fresh eggs. The things that work with the regular grocery store eggs just do not work with farm fresh eggs. So we're going to try this method. I'll let y'all know how it works. So now let's talk about how I became a chicken lady. We're going to rewind back to like 6 years ago. Somewhere 6, maybe 7 years ago. That's when I became a chicken lady. So during that time, my oldest son had recently went off to college. Now, my husband was worried about me. He thought I was depressed. I wasn't really depressed, but there was anxiety that goes along with that. Your kid's on their own. It's scary. You know, are they going to make the right decisions? Is something bad going to happen? And it's not even that, you know, I always tell my kids this. It's not that I don't trust y'all. I don't trust these other idiots out here. And that's how it is. And, you know, he was in the big city of Charlotte, which is, you know, a lot different from where I live. So that was scary to me. So there was anxiety, but I don't know if I was depressed. But anyway, he was worried I was depressed. We actually went through this stage where he was just like constantly buying me stuff. For those of you who don't know, when I've mentioned this before, my husband's just one of those that buys you stuff when he thinks you're feeling bad, or when maybe he's been bad. He'll buy stuff to try to make you feel better. So we were going through that stage, and we had went to Tractor Supply for something one day, and of course it was chick days, and I see these baby chicks. I'm like, oh my god, I've got to have the baby chicks. He said no. He said no. So we went home that day. He says I pouted like a little kid. I didn't pout like a little kid. I was just basically saying, why can't we have chickens? We got the land. You know, this is unlimited eggs for you. My husband's a big egg person. Why can't we get chickens? I wasn't pouting. I was just pleading my case, if you will. So then that night, for those of you who don't know, I love Little House on the Prairie. I watch it every night as I go to sleep. So that night we went to sleep to Little House on the Prairie. Next morning he wakes up, he was like, you want to go get some chickens from Tractor Supply? I was like, what? Because it was like a hard no the day before. I was like, are you serious? And he was like, yeah. And I was like, what changed your mind? He was like, well, I was watching Little House last night with you, and I thought they don't have the infrastructure. They don't have much infrastructure, and everything they have for their chickens I could easily make. So that's what changed his mind. And I guess he also thought about the eggs and all the stuff that I did do to plead my case. I think were all effective. So that day we went and got some chickens. Now, did I know what I was doing with chickens? Absolutely not. That's one of the reasons why I did this channel, is because I depended on different chicken forums, different videos and stuff to learn when I was first starting to raise chickens. And I wanted to help people if they wanted to, because chickens, there's a lot of reasons why you should get chickens. First off, they're really cute. Second off, they've got personality. Some of them are just like little dogs. Some of them are like cats. Some of them I mean, they do have a personality. I don't think a lot of people realize that. Some of them are butts. I have a rooster right now who is a major butt. But he does his job. And that's another thing. They all have jobs to do. You have the other reasons why you might want a chicken is, you know, I wouldn't necessarily call myself a prepper, but, you know, this is food that I'm always going to have. I'm not an egg person, but, you know, if the end of the world happened, I imagine I could eat some eggs. So that's another reason. It's you're always going to have some kind of protein if you have chickens. There's so many reasons to have chickens. But anyway, so I had no idea what I was doing. I got these, you know, I got the brooder box set up, and I slowly moved them to a bigger brooder box. We got 4 first. We went literally the next weekend and got 4 more. Because they were just, it was just so fun to have these little babies. So I had 8 at first. So we are, you know, I'm doing the stuff. I'm you know, feeding them, water them in the brooder box. Everything in the brooder box is pretty easy. You know, you have the heat lamp. You know, you change it out. Everything is pretty much like any basic pet. Now, while they were in the brooder box, we started building the coop. My old coop was like a chicken mansion. It was a really big coop. It was really nice. And we kept it a little farther away from the house at the time because we didn't want a rooster waking us up. We've since now we have them at the house. But anyway, and the roosters actually don't, I mean, if it's about time to wake up anyway, and I'm maybe in a lighter sleep, the roosters wake me up. But typically my alarm clock wakes me up. Every now and then a rooster might wake me up. But, so we built the coop up and stuff like that. And then within the first week of them being out in the coop, I lost 2 from a raccoon. And I didn't realize how tricky and how vicious raccoons could be. All you those people who say, oh, raccoons are so cute. Yeah, no, they're like little vampires. They will literally decapitate a chicken and drink their blood. I mean, that literally happened. And it's very common. If you look it up, that's what they do. They're vicious. My husband actually said he thought I was going to go out in the woods for a week and come out with like raccoon tails wrapped around my neck screaming, they drew first blood! And like seriously in my head, I was going to sit out there all night with a gun. Oh, pew pew. I'm going to try to bleep that out. With a pew pew. You know what? I'm not monetized with a gun. And so, I mean, like that's, it took out my very favorite, who was Jabba the Cluck. And let me tell you how she got her name. We were new to chickens. We didn't know the difference between a lot of chickens. Jabba the Cluck turned out to be a broiler. A broiler is a bird that's literally bred for meat. They don't care about their health. They're unhealthy birds. They're supposed to be killed at 4 months and put on your dinner table. This bird was probably not going to live much longer because of its health issues anyway. But I loved it. I loved my big little Jabba the Cluck. I mean, it was like this big and it was only 3 months old. It was bigger than a lot of my chickens now. And at a very young age. It probably wasn't going to live much longer, but it still ticked me off that a raccoon killed it. And also Alice Cooper, who was really, she was pretty. She was a barred rock. She had she was beautiful. So the reason why that happened is even though we had the fenced in area, we didn't have the top closed off. You know, and they were able to get in there and kill my birds. So you learn a lot as you go, or at least I did. I learned a lot as I went through this chicken process. That's why I always tell people, you know, you don't know how to take care of chickens. Well, you don't know how to do anything until you start doing it. There's still things I don't know. There's still things I look up. I remember the first time I had a bird molting. I thought it was dying. I thought it had the mange. I was like, oh my God, what is wrong with my chicken? Its feathers are just coming out. It looks horrible. It's acting weird. It was molting. And for those of you who don't know, molting is when they shed their feathers, grow grow new feathers. So everything's a learning process with chickens. But if you want chickens and you have the infrastructure, just get the chickens. Get them. I mean, chickens are actually pretty good about taking care of themselves. You feed them, you water them, and you clean out their cages every now and then, and you get eggs. They're pretty easy animals, to be quite honest. I mean, very rarely do you need a vet. It's very rewarding work. So you do have to do things like, if you're not an early riser, I actually have a timer opener that I don't have set up on this coop. I had set up on my old coop. I don't really like to use them though, because you do have stubborn birds who won't go in time, and they'll get trapped outside for the night. So if I do use it, I literally only use it for the morning, but I don't have it set up in this coop. I need to set it up in this coop. But I wake up at 6 in the morning. But basically, as soon as it starts getting light is when you kind of want to let your chickens out. It's not even a necessity. It's just my thing. Here's one thing I learned about chickens, because when they first started laying eggs, I was down there at the crack of dawn waiting for my eggs. Yeah. You have some early morning layers, you have some evening layers, you have some that just lay randomly throughout the day. I very rarely have a early morning layer. That's just some weird myth that got made up. I mean, some chickens probably lay early in the morning. My ducks lay early in the morning. My ducks lay earlier than the chickens. Ducks on the other hand, ducks are a little bit more work than chickens, but they're somewhat simpler. Ducks are mainly a little bit more work than chickens, is because they poop a lot. They eat a lot more. And I don't know, it's weird. Chickens kind of have some kind of idea about their boundaries. Ducks don't. They'll just go wherever they want. I've been having a problem with ducks going in the road right now. It's driving me crazy, to be honest. Yesterday in the rain, I had to go get them out of the road about 10 times. It's ridiculous. And they are corrupting 2 of my chickens. 2 of my chickens keep going with them. These chickens would never do that without the ducks going. So that's driving me a little bit crazy. So, sorry, somebody just pulled in. So basically, what I'm trying to tell you is if you want chickens, you can do it. You can do it. I'm always here. You can email me, ytchickenlady@gmail.com. I'm always, anybody who wants to message me and ask me about something with chickens, you can ask people. People do it all the time. If I know the answer, I'm more than willing to help you out. There's plenty of chicken forums out there that are just a wealth of knowledge. And I use that a lot. I use Backyard Chickens. Or I think that's what it's called. It's either Backyard Chickens or Barnyard Chickens. I can't remember. They're a wealth of knowledge. Whenever I was learning about chickens, I'd go on there constantly. Is this normal? Can chickens eat this? Cool thing about chickens typically won't eat things that they can't eat. It's wired in their brain somehow. If you give them, let's see, what's some. Oh, a pepper's not necessarily poisonous to them, but they shouldn't eat them. But they won't eat them. There's other things that are poisonous to chickens. I can't think of them right off the top of my head. But typically you don't have to worry about it because the chicken ain't going to actually eat it. They're really good that way. Ducks, on the other hand, will eat anything. And same, I think most animals will, even dogs, they'll eat something that's poisonous to them. But that's one really cool thing about chickens is they typically won't eat things that are poisonous to them. It's just somehow in their nature they know. Predator proofing your coop and your chicken run is probably the most difficult part for me to that I've dealt with as far as chickens, because I'm telling you, raccoons are tricky, and raccoons in my area are what you're typically dealing with. We have chicken hawks too. I've had them get a few of mine. What else? I have a fox, but it may have gotten one. I had a fox and a chicken hawk at the same time. And I'd only seen the fox once. But one of my chickens disappeared. I never saw anything resembling a chicken. It just disappeared. So I don't know if it was the fox or the chicken hawk, because the chicken hawk had been active and I'd definitely seen the chicken hawk get one of mine maybe a week earlier. Or no, it tried to get it. Yeah, it tried to get, my husband ran out and stopped it. I remember that. So I don't know if it was the chicken hawk or the fox. But we don't have too many foxes around here, so I don't have to worry about that too much. So yeah, I mainly worry about raccoons and chicken hawks. I hear the UK has they get foxes a lot. So if you're in the UK, the foxes might be your biggest predator. Do y'all have raccoons? I don't think y'all do, because I remember seeing some UK person being like, "Oh, that's what a raccoon looks like." Yeah, little buttholes. I don't like raccoons. Now, we do have bears periodically up here. You're gonna know when a bear gets through. Have y'all ever seen a bullet hole, like in metal, how it just kind of shoots out? You see a bear-sized one of those through your chicken wire. Nothing's going to stop them. They cut through it like butter. Fortunately, I haven't had a problem with bears for my chickens, at least. My brother has. My brother had a bear get a few of his chickens. I didn't see the aftermath, but the aftermath sounded just horrible. So, let's see. What else should you know before you get chickens? Like I said, I knew nothing. I absolutely knew nothing. So, just if you have the land, if you have the infrastructure, get the chickens. Get them. You learn as you go. And chickens are very forgiving in letting you learn as you go. And I'm here. There's plenty of other channels here. The chicken channels are actually becoming a thing on YouTube, which is exciting to me. I love that. And, if you check my community, I'm like, hey, sub up to this new chicken channel. I'm trying to help, because this is stuff that may be important to all of us one day, to learn how to do this. We don't know what's going to happen in the future. So just get the chickens. Get the chickens. You can get them at any Tractor Supply. I actually hatch eggs for people sometimes who live nearby, if I'm sure they're going to get them. I'm not hatching any more eggs for my mama. My mama asked for eggs for chickens or ducks, and so I'll hatch her some. And then guess what? By the time it's time for them to go, she can't take them for some reason. Silly mama. But I don't mind hatching eggs for people. Most people don't. If you have somebody that has chickens near you, I may not have the kind you want, but that's why you go to Tractor Supply. Oh, Rural King. I don't know if y'all have one of those. We do. It's farther away though, so I've only been there once, and they've got a pretty good bird selection actually. I may start going there if I buy any more birds anytime soon, which I don't plan on it. But yeah, get the chickens. You can order them, have them shipped right to your door. Just get the chickens. Everybody needs chickens. Everybody needs to be a crazy chicken lady or a crazy chicken man. Cluck, cluck, everybody. I hope this video was kind of informative. It went way longer than I thought it would, because I get sidetracked real easy. But cluck, cluck, everybody. Have a good day. We will try to do the deviled eggs.